of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize, be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna.
Good morning, good morning. Here we are once again to do a daily devotion. It's a beautiful, beautiful day outside. Alrighty, so we want to look at the 10 Commandments. 10 Commandments, just as a reminder to people, just as a reminder to folks that our God is a mighty God. He's a mighty God. And the people afterwards, when they saw what had happened, then they became afraid. It says, and God spake all these words, starting from chapter 20. And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So God did free his people from slavery. As he frees us from slavery to sin, he frees not only them from the bondage, but he frees us from slavery of sin, putting down a down payment, Jesus Christ, on that. It said, thou shalt have no other gods before me. This was one of the major problems that people had. They used to practice with these false gods after God has done so much. And you see, how is it you bring yourself to a place where you worship false gods? And this is for us also, as we see what God has done and God reminds us what he has done, we still go back and do things that we shouldn't do. And we look at these people and condemn them. But you know what? The devil knows how to sweeten the cup. Because in the times of practicing worshiping these false gods, they had priestesses which were actually prostitutes. And that's what these men were after. And so in getting after these prostitutes, they will go and worship these false gods. Son, it says, thou shalt make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Epigenetics proves just that. It proves that. Just as the word of God says here. You know, we don't need to prove the word of God by anything, but the mere fact that God takes time out for us to understand, that is very, very important. The experiences we have open the portals for generations to come. You know, sometimes people practice some things and they don't consider that their body is not their own. But your future generation is at risk. We go further and it says, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. And that's what we want to do. We want to, as much as possible, keep the commandments of God. You're not saved by keeping his commandments, I will tell you outright from now. If you believe that you can't be saved by keeping commandments, you are saved by grace through faith in Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, that's how we get saved, not by keeping commandments. But we are saved unto good works, which is then looking at these and with the help of the Holy Spirit, trying to do them in our lives. Amen? It says, thou shalt not make the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. You know, the Jews, they don't even want to say the name of the Lord because they take this very seriously. I remember as a child too, they would tell us, do not swear. Not swear. The parents would tell us that. I remember growing up in a household where that was important. We were told not to swear. Do not use the name of the Lord in vain. And that's beautiful. We must have respect. Today, with children speaking to parents any kind of way or to older people, that's not important again. Some people believe they should raise their children to be bold, and bold meaning to laugh any older people. Come on, if you don't have respect, for people that you see, you will not have respect for God. That's for sure. He continues here and he says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son nor thy daughter, thy manservant nor thy maidservant, nor the cattle nor thy stranger that is within the gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Now this, as an evangelical, I struggled with this because the seventh day, if you look at the calendar, the seventh day is Saturday. Now we are practicing a new thing, celebrating the first birth, the first fruits, because that's Sunday, which was the first day of the week as it's told in the Bible. That's what we are commemorating. We are commemorating the first day. This has to do with respecting God. What we need to focus on today, though, is those Christians who want to, if they have anything to do, they give up that Sunday. We're saying that Sunday, we're going to give Sunday as our day to worship the Lord and serve the Lord. That is not ours to keep, to do what we want with it. If you decide you're going to do that, then you got to dedicate all that time to the Lord. Verse 12 says, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God hath given thee. Wow. How many children today don't honor their parents? They do some crazy stuff and they don't care. Some people don't take care of their parents. We are told you're worse than a heathen. You have to put plans in place to take care of your parents. And I know Mother's Day is always taken as a very serious thing. But Father's Day is the same thing, man. We have to give honor to father and mother. That's what it says here. Honor thy mother and thy father. Not only thy mother, but thy father also. Sometimes as fathers, we're overlooked by our children. This is the one for us. Thou shalt not kill. Afraid anymore. What they're trying to do is to terrorize the law-abiding citizens. Terrorize them by committing crime and then daring them to go and give evidence in court. We pray that the system will respond to these things and fix them, because we cannot continue to go on like this. Thou shalt not commit adultery. The more we look at these, it's like going up our alley. Adultery is gone beyond that. When we see people who are bold enough to come and talk about legalizing homosexuality in this country, removing Section 53 from the laws of Belize that deals with that, it's any kind of sexual sin. But we have gone beyond just the ordinary adultery, where a man will have sex outside or won't have sex outside of marriage. And there's a reason why God did that, because God is omniscient. He knows. He knows. So these things that they're pointing out here is talking to us. Thou shalt not steal. If you only go and see what's happening in some of those ministries, you drop down if you know what's happening in some of those ministries. So people are just robbing the coffers blind. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Telling lies. That's a style now. That's the people don't even worry about it again. I get very, very angry with anybody who tries to lie to me. If you do something, be man enough to say I did it, or woman enough to say I did it. Why lie? By bearing false witness. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is in thy neighbor's is thy neighbor's. Do you know that all these commercials hinge themselves on that? Something that they show that you want. People are always wanting things. Say somebody have it, I want it. Sometimes they go as far as spilling blood to get it. See a woman that is married, boy, at the time people go after her, or a man that is married, the women go after them. These things are just highlighting how far we are from God. And I hope this morning you get a chance to look at all these things and think about them and see where we are, because we're not in a good place. Morality is based on the Word of God, not what people think is right and wrong. Real true morality is based on the Word of God.
land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize, be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna.
B-Box offers Benny's customers the opportunity to earn points on their purchases at any Benny's locations or its entities, such as Best Manufacturing, Benquip, Island Freight Forwarders, Benny's Contractor and Lumberyard, and B-Mart. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbox.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with B-Box. Brought to you by Benny's, quality and savings.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Hello Bemapan, welcome back to the second segment in this series of the Trade License Act 2024. I'm Councillor Chris Enriquez, and today we'll be discussing your business productive footprint and how it impacts your trade license fee. Let's break it down. Your business's productive footprint is the square footage of the area where your operations are conducted. It excludes common spaces such as agricultural lands, lobbies, restrooms, stairways, parking lots, storerooms, and shared hallways, unless they are used for profit. Your business falls under an economic classification based on your business type. This classification, as well as your zone, will further determine the rate applied to your business.
Hi, I'm Lauren Milton. I'm the Evaluation Manager here at the Bemapan City Council. I know a lot of people keep wondering what we're measuring when we visit their business. So let's take a closer look at what productive footprint looks like for the different types of businesses. As you can see, we measure the area used for business purposes only. This includes retail space, dining areas, or workspaces. For example, here's how the productive footprint is calculated for a coffee shop, a supermarket, and an office space, specifically an accounting firm. Let's take a coffee shop for instance. Here we see the kitchen, the bar, and the dining areas as productive space. What's noteworthy here is that a restaurant and an ice cream parlor has similar productive space as a coffee shop. Next, we have a supermarket. For this business, we measure the entire retail floor, including aisles, checkout counters, and display areas. The storerooms and employee break areas are excluded since they are not used to generate direct sales. Lastly, we look at an accounting firm office. The productive footprint here includes the client reception, conference rooms, and workspaces where the business's services are provided. Excluded are areas like break rooms, restrooms, kitchen, and non-operational storage. As you can see, Productive footprint is the usable square footage where your business is conducted. This excludes common areas like lobbies, restrooms, and parking spaces, except in cases where these areas are used for profit. Remember, productive footprint looks different for different businesses, so be sure to accurately measure your premise to ensure your fees reflect your footprint. It is important to note that Schedule 8 of the Trade Licensing Act sets fixed trade license fees for specific classifications such as traveling professionals and auto dealers.
Knowing your economic classification and accurately measuring your productive footprint isn't the only factor in your trade license process. You must also consider that there are 4 municipal zones and that your business is located in one of them. Each zone has a different guideline that will affect the rate applied to your trade license fee. As a reminder, the new Trade License Act takes effect on January 1st, 2025. Businesses without a trade license by then are subject to penalties and fees. So we encourage everyone to apply early before the deadline, December 31st, 2024. Stay tuned to our next segment where we will answer your key questions. Thank you for watching, and let's build a prosperous Belmopan together.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me Sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me Sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize.
Rise and shine.
Be like Belize.
Monday morning, it is the 4th of August, and I am glad to be back. Whatever part of the country you're watching us from, whether you're watching us on stream or you are watching us on the national cable system in a live or a repeat, thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful good morning. And it's a pleasure to be here. It's Monday morning, so I'm here with Brother Fem Cruz. Brother Fem,
yes, Pastor.
Good morning, my brother. And it is good to see you and good to be back. You're looking good.
Yes, well, we want to say again, once again, thanks to all those that were praying for you.
Yes.
I ask that my church will lift you up the same before the day they fly, flight. And a lot of people say, wow, Pastor, I'll take my own thing, because you're normally there on the grind 24/7. So it's a joy to take one little time out to the family. Pastor, when you go, then there will be no more pastor will. So, the best instrument or engine or thing broke down much less us. So thank God you take the lead time out, Pastor. You do it. You're blessed. I wish you got some money to carry back maybe again. Yes, I really. Welcome, Dad.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, and it's always good to be here on Rise and Shine, and it's good also to take a break. And so I was out for the last 3 weeks. I want to take this opportunity to thank you, and of course, Kerm Timbrell,
yes.
Pastor Scott Sturm, Pastor Shaw, as well as Pastor Santi Valencia. It's an honor for me to have such friends as you guys, to have such colleagues, to sit with us and the nation of Belize and discuss the issue, that the various issues that come across our table, knowing that we do not have a political axe to grind. We are not grinding for a political party. We are grinding for the kingdom of heaven.
Yes.
Which means that there are times when the country thinks something is bad and we think it's good. There are times when it's the opposite way, that we think that something is good, the country is bad, think it's bad, and the other way around. And for us, we really just want to give our own ideas. It's not all the time that we agree, but you know that the opinion is not coming from a political era. I was also grateful, Brother Fem, because there was a Senate meeting in my absence, and I am grateful to Kerm Timbrell, my Tuesday morning and co-host, that he was able to be the temporary senator, and I think he did a very good job, because I was able to watch from over in Ireland.
Oh man, you see, these are things again where we have to give God thanks, because you plant a lot of seed, Pastor. And when time comes to make you harvest the seed yourself and carry this on, you know, come now and encourage other people, other young people like yourself. We want to reach there. And I all the time say, I thank God for PlusTV, because a lot of you guys were out there on other television show or radio show. Praise God for Pastor Wade and staff here. And thank God that you choose to begin your career here with us. And I feel proud. When I see the guys, I just happy. I say that a plus.
Yes.
We know first. Yes, that's
I like that one. Well, the weather today,
yes, sir.
Let's start with the general situation, which calls for fair weather to prevail. It says, however, there are some changes expected as a tropical wave approaches the country. So it will be mostly sunny skies today, with shower activity being isolated. Tonight, skies will be partly cloudy to cloudy with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly over the south and then in some coastal areas. The winds are blowing from the east at 5 to 10 knots. Sea state will be a slight chop with waves 1 to 3 feet. This means a beautiful day over on the sea.
Yes.
Temperatures inland are 94 degrees as the high, 74 as the low. On the coast, 89 is the high, 82 is the low. In the hills, 82 will be the high, and 68 will be the low. So the outlook for Tuesday and Tuesday night is for cloudy skies with some showers and few thunderstorms over most areas. So I guess as the week progresses, that tropical wave will be passing us, and the weather will change, but it's going to be a beautiful day today, and we give God thanks for any day. So where I was, the temperature would range between the 60s and 70s. Here we are in the 80s and 90s. But we did have, this is my second time in Ireland, and it was warmer this time than the last time, Brother Fem. But I could tell you, every single day I had on long sleeve clothes. Even if the sun is out.
Talking about the food, tell me a little bit about it, because I know you like it.
Yeah, I know about the food. Ireland is a very, very, very beautiful place, and the food is very good. They do not have the wide variety of foods that we have in Belize. But the British, especially the British influence, there is a thing that they call fish and chips, with peas, fish and chips. So just like how I guess we eat fried chicken and fries, they have fish and chips with tartar sauce. And I had that several times. But the piece of fish that they give you is this big and this thick, Brother Fem, and it's fried, sometimes bigger, sometimes it's multiple pieces. And their fries aren't small, their fries are larger, kind of like chunks. But the potato is very fresh, and it's very, very, very nice. So fish and chips. What they call chips is what we call fries, but it's a food that in England as well as in Ireland, it's very, very available. But there are also Irish foods that we can enjoy.
Wonderful.
Yes. My favorite part of Ireland is the scenery and the flowers, the plants. And maybe I should have sent across a couple pictures, but I love also visiting the different archaeological sites like old church buildings and so on, old castles, that type of stuff. No, I also was able to see river dance. I'm going to send over I'm going to send over some pictures shortly, Brother Fem, just to give an idea of. I take my own pictures, and sometimes some of the things I take pictures of, it might not be what other people would take. No, so let me send. I like to take pictures of some of their old churches, really, and some of the other beautiful areas. No, let me see. Okay, I'll send over just a few pictures to the WhatsApp group. But I also had a very good opportunity to rest, Brother Fem, and that was also important.
So how did he enjoy Junie? Junie never gone.
Any of my kids or grandkids? No, just my wife and I went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my wife and I went. I'm sending some pictures. But also, Brother Fem, while I was over there, I kept a very close ear on the ground to what's happening in our country, Belize. So for me, when I am away, when I am not in Belize, I can actually look back at what is happening in Belize and just in a way compare it with where I am. You know, I am outside of Belize. It's a very good opportunity for me to just step back and watch what is happening in your country as compared to what is happening in other parts of the world. So maybe any of those pictures have downloaded. You could just show them randomly, and I'll just talk a little bit. Maybe tomorrow I will have a little bit more. But some of the things that we have problems with in Belize are, I don't think they're as important, you know. A simple example is like people barely use cash anymore. Cash. Yeah, it's really just direct transfers, cell phones. It's credit cards, debit cards, just a card, like, you know, like there are lots of places that you go and you can't even give them cash. They're not interested in cash. Like the whole world is becoming a cashless society. And then here in Belize, we quarrel about how the money look. And you know, because today is the day that the government is going to release new currency. And here in Belize, we are quarreling about how the money look. Meanwhile, in other countries, money done. That one is sideways. So let's see if we could get it. But we then there was a whole big thing about a Toyota Land Cruiser that was bought for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and they paid $250,000 for it. And again, that was another huge quarrel here in Belize. Yeah, the truth of the matter is that, I mean, out there, the leaders of countries and so on, they are driving around in $1 million vehicles that protect them, that are safe. And there are very, very important issues in Belize to discuss, but it's not everything, I think, that is of very big importance. We make it into big thing. Like, for example, a third example is Earl Trap, the building in Cayo. Very nice building. It was given the name Earl Trap. Whether or not the the mayor is still mayor and the building has that name, I don't think it is. That's not an important thing, you know. It's a good sign. It's a good gesture. Why do we have to make it a big, like something wrong? When you go to other countries, there are so many different like statues, you know, carvings and images up of their leaders. They have places that you can go where you can see old leaders and new leaders, and they try to big up their leaders. Earl Trapp is a very, very successful leader. As a matter of fact, in the last election, so many of the other politicians in the UDP did not win. Earl Trapp has been a servant of the people for over 24 years. The people in Kyle love him. Name the building Earl Trapp.
Yes.
You know, so there are things, I think that we have to decide what's important and what's not important for conversation. But it's not everything that we have to take and make it into a big deal, you know. On Friday, it was a holiday. 1st of August was a holiday, which is Emancipation Day, you know. I have participated in the previous Emancipation Day ceremony, you know, but being a slave or not being a slave is not a big deal to me. That my forefathers and your forefathers were slaves, it's not a big deal. You know, we should celebrate the fact that on the 1st of August, it was the people of Belize who were slaves at that time were set free, and around the region, you know. But I don't think that we have to turn it into these big controversial matter. There are things that that are important that need to be discussed, but it can't be everything now a problem.
I agree. And as you mentioned, we have more important things to deal with.
Yes.
Than the try. I can't say embarrassed, but they don't see it fit that this person be named after I think you said 24 years of being a faithful servant.
Yes. And it's a very beautiful building, and I don't know of another mayor who was able to successfully transition from a small building to a big building like that. In Belize City, a previous city council had built you remember when we were younger, beside the swing bridge used to have the market. When we were young, you had the market right there. And then one government came and changed it into a commercial center, right? The commercial center is still one of the largest buildings in the country. It's still one of the largest, it's now one of the largest buildings in Belize City. And it is the largest building for sure in the downtown area of Belize City. So having that building, like, it uplifts the look of Albert Street, right? Now, the problem was that where are they going to put the sellers, the market sellers who were there before? And so what you have is the lower level of the commercial center is for the lower level of the center is for buy and sell, like a market. And then you have the second floor and the upper floors now that are used for commercial purposes, as well as the city council has taken up the upper levels of it, you know. So, but beside Belize City and that commercial center, which is now also the main hub of city activity for the council, the San Ignacio building is a very nice building. The San Ignacio, and naming it the Earl Trapp building, I think is a very good idea. We spend a lot of time debating, discussing, and arguing insignificant things. So, like the currency, I knew it would have created a problem because, like, they just went ahead and designed it, and Belizeans didn't have an input. Yes, I hope that Belizeans would have had an input, but you quarreling about it now. It's already printed, it's already designed, it's already approved, and it's out there circulating. And then some people are saying, well, the money will lose its value, and that is not true. The money cannot lose its value because you print a new design. The value of money is not dependent upon how the money looks. It is not dependent upon how the money looks, right? It's confidence in the economy, confidence in the decisions that are made regarding the economy. Those are the things. The fact that Karen believes our money is tied 2-to-1 to the United States dollar. So we have to meet certain criteria in order for our money to remain tied to the US dollar. So, you know, 2 Belize, 1 US, correct? And the numbers change by 1 cent and 2 cents, but we're pegged on to the US dollar. So the better the US economy does, and the better the US dollar does, our money goes for a ride on the US dollar as long as we meet that criteria. If we untether ourselves from the US dollar, that is going to have a major effect upon our economy. That now will have a significant impact on the value of the dollar, but changing the face of the dollar is not going to have a significant is not a significant issue. Yes, when you design something, there are many ways to design something. And yes, I could say, well, you know what? It may have been nice if we use more people than just George Price and Philip Goldson. You know, that's what I believe. But that doesn't make me not support the decision. It doesn't, even if something is a good idea, I can say, well, maybe we could make it better if why don't we do this? But if they don't take your idea, that doesn't mean now all of a sudden it's a bad thing and it's not going to happen. And we're having the conversation right now in our country regarding the 13th Amendment as well. Now that's a very big and important conversation that we need to have. And we need to be able to have that conversation, and we have to separate truth from fear mongering. You just to try and make the people be afraid. You know, so there are genuine conversations to be had, but there are certain things that are not as important.
Man, that's great. So you give us a little feedback about you mentioned the same thing with that they had the sitting at the house.
Yes, yes, because one of the things that came up at the Senate meeting, though I was not there and Kerm was there, was the issue of bail. The issue of bail. And you will notice then that when the allegations came up and the arrest and charge of the former ambassador to Cuba, who for some unknown reason became a counselor at a high school in Cayo, and now the student that came forward to say that he was sexually abused, sexually assaulted. You know the Said Guerra issue. He's now arrested and charged. That's a very big issue because he was a teacher at a school, and it is the student that has come forward to say that he was sexually assaulted. And so we will be looking closer at that issue. I've spoken to the family. The family needs our help, our support, our prayer, and we're going to do that because Said Gera he comes from a very powerful family. He was a former mayor of Benke. He was a ambassador, and so you have a very powerful person that is now being accused by a child. And we have to make sure that the police are doing their job, that the police have the correct evidence, that the medical department went through the right process when they looked at that child, and to ensure that the justice is carried out for that 16-year-old. So I was not in the country, but I do have comments. I was in contact, as I've been in contact with the family and so on, and they will need our help and our support in this matter to ensure that it is not become a power play, but that justice can go for the victim. All right, so can we look at a couple of pictures that we have?
Yes,
and then the first video will be the last one because I want my flight back to Belize. I want to show that last, but first maybe we can just look at a couple of random pictures. I have a lot more pictures, but just so I was able to see River Dance. River Dance is in Dublin, which is the capital city of the Republic of Ireland, and this is a dance that we probably see just pieces of it on television. And man, I tell you, it was beautiful, Brother Fem. So that's Irish music with Irish dancers, and it has a lot of tap dancing, and it was very good. It was very good. This is just a picture. I love how they not just paint their buildings. These are very old buildings, but their use of flowers hanging on the windows and windowsill and like that, you know, very beautiful. This is one of the churches. I think this church is in Tipperary. When we were children, they taught us to sing, "It's a long road to Tipperary. It's a long road to go." And and I finally went to Tipperary, which is a town in Ireland. And this is a Roman Catholic church. Ireland is primarily a Roman Catholic country. I mean, it is moving into secularism. But let's go back to that picture. Let's go back to, these churches, some of them are much older than this, Brother Fem. Yeah, but this church could easily be 1,000 years old. And back then, a lot of the people would want to be buried right in the church compound, right? So that would be called a graveyard. The way they explain it to us is there is a difference between a graveyard and a cemetery. So a graveyard is in the church compound, and that's where people want to be buried, right? Yes. And so, but then after that, a cemetery doesn't have a church. It's just a place where you bury people. Like in Belize, we have cemeteries. Yes. We don't have, for the most part, graveyard. Yeah, so a graveyard is what we are looking at right there, where you see all those little crosses and headstones and so on. So that a lot of people would want to be buried right where their church is, right? So that's an example of that you see there. But hundreds of years old. Again, these are just photographs. Yeah, we can continue. Just another picture in the town, in one of the towns. You see all the houses attached to each other? Yes. I think you used to see that on Albert Street many years ago, right? Where the houses are touching each other. You still see a lot of those types of terraced structures in certain parts of Ireland. Next photograph. This is just a wild bush on the side of the road. It's so beautiful. But Ireland, like we drove from the airport here in Belize, coming back all the way to Belmopan, and you barely see any flowers you barely see any flowers. It's just green. In Ireland, there are just so many different flower varieties that are wild and just beautiful, very colorful. But Ireland gets a lot of rain. It rains almost every day in Ireland. And it might rain for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, but you know, the weather is different. It is different, Brother Fem. Next picture. Look here, look at that right there.
Man.
That's
wow.
So almost everywhere you go, you see this. The people take care of most people take care of their yards. And that is something that I would love to see in Belize, where people take care of their yards. Their yards are cut. I tell you, that don't have nothing to do with rich or poor. It just has to do with like loving the look of your place. I don't think that it has anything to do with rich or poor. It has to do with like a pride, a kind of pride to keep your town or your village clean and cut, and there are flowers everywhere in certain parts of Ireland. But that's just an example right there. I was doing my little exercise and I just take a picture of that.
Man, that's beautiful.
Right? You thinking Belize they may have thief the orange one, or you think they may have still there? You think they may have thief it? So I just take it or carry it and sell it for $5 or buy crack? I hope not. But you see this like this, you see everywhere. Everywhere. Can go to the next picture. So like that's like the side of the road. You see how colorful it is there, Brother Fem?
Yes, sir.
Just right on the side of the road right there. And that's just everywhere, and so many different colors: white, orange, yellow, purple. Just very, very beautiful. The question is, did people plant it there at some time, or is this just natural? Well, if it's natural, really, we can do this. We can still do this on our highways, right? We can do this because there are many wildflowers in Belize that look beautiful. We have heliconia that's natural. We have sunflower that is natural. We have quite a few different plants. Even the morning glory, that little purple one that comes up in the morning. You know, it can be done, I believe. And I believe, like something like this, you're traveling through that country, you will say that country is beautiful, because there's just a lot of flowers. Can we go on? And then separate from the wild flowers that are on the highway, then there's in their towns and so on, a lot of attention is placed on flowers. How do you think that look? Well, it looks very beautiful, right? And I think that this to a small degree, I see in Belize City there is an attempt by Mayor Wagner and his team to plant more flowers.
Yes.
And here in Belmopan, I know Mayor Chanona had started it. We have several of the roundabouts, a couple of them that you're beginning to see, like with Rotaract and so on, and even with us at Blessed Garden, we try to, but a lot more can be done. Like it's possible to really turn Belmopan into a garden city that we call Garden City Belmopan. I think that you could see that there was an attempt by this current town city council near the Isidoro Beaton area. They put chairs by the Isidoro Beaton football stadium. They planted some plants, but they're not blooming to the extent that we see here. And they put it in pots so that if these plants stop blooming, you can actually replace them so that all year round you get that beautiful look. Right? Next, what else do we have? In the background there, you see right. So this is one of their cathedrals, very old cathedral. It's over 1,000 years old. The patron saint of Ireland is Saint Patrick. St. Patrick. And St. Patrick is the person who his preaching turned Ireland into a Christian country, Brother Fem. And he was at this particular church right here. This church right here is where he baptized a king. I'm not sure if the king is King Angus, but a king was baptized and became a Christian at this location. This location is where some of the kings were crowned over 1,000 years ago. And some of the kings were crowned at this place. And so this is a very important, it's one of the most visited sites in Ireland. There's a lot more story behind this place right here. Very beautiful, very large. People come from all over the world to look at it. All right, and that's just one of the little streets. And everywhere you go, you can see the churches. The churches formed a very, very big part of the culture of Europe. It is changing now because some are museums, there's a lot of change now, but everywhere you go, there are big, beautiful churches in Ireland. And I love visiting churches. I love taking pictures of them because it's a good reminder to us that we are here for a very short time. Where you know, sometimes some people spend too much time quarreling over doctrine and theology instead of just serving God and serving people and being a good example of the life of Jesus. May that life be lived through us. And I think we quarrel a lot, whether we think our church better than other people's church, or whether for we church they preach the truth and some other church they think. When the truth of the matter is that these are reminders that the church is 2,000 years old, Brother Fem. The church is 2,000 years old, 2,000 years of Christianity. And can we go back to the picture, the video of the church, the old church that's over 1,000 years old? You know, so people used to go there every Sunday and every day for mass and service, Brother Fem. So that's a reminder that the Church of Jesus Christ, people have loved Jesus and served Jesus for 2,000 years, you know, and build very big buildings to the glory of God. The 9 people used to be a little choir, the male choir, and they would live in this section on your right hand side, right? So this is the left hand side, and then on to the right hand side of it, you will see a very small, long building. That is where the guys would stay, that would sing in the church. So there's a lot more that I could talk, but it's always, and then I want to, so those people have been building those things for 1,000 years, over 1,000 years.
Yeah, Pastor.
You understand? So sometimes when even some people don't want to sweep church, they don't want to map out church, they don't want to help cut the yard. And we need to remember that we're here just for a short time, very short time. And that we living for Jesus, what it means to live for Jesus is different in that 2,000-year period.
Yes.
But people still we are to love Jesus, and we are to love the people of God, and we are to be the good example of the life of Jesus as best as we can in this generation. But one day we will not be here.
Yes.
So all the buildings that we have for Jesus, those buildings will not be here. But the question will be, will we pass on the knowledge of Jesus to other people so that future generations can love Jesus and serve him and live for God as well? So I wanted to show one more I want to show one more video because I asked them to save one of those videos for last, no? And the reason why I want it is just to show you how advanced the United States is and these countries, Brother Fem. It hurt my heart sometimes when we quarrel about so very simple things, and I've explained already that there are things worth arguing about, right? There are things worth debating. 13th Amendment, the safety of our children, the gang violence that is taking place in Belize City. All of these things, we have to debate them and come up with solutions to build our nation, to build our city. But we should not be sidetracked by insignificant things. But I want to show just the takeoff of my plane from Newark, New Jersey. That's one of the legs of my journey. I flew back from Newark, New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey they're very close to New York, right? So you have New York and New Jersey, and so I didn't get to go to New York this time around. We landed in New Jersey. Newark has a port, very huge port, very beautiful, and I just want to show my takeoff. So that is how much plane. I want to see how much plane take off just in the brief period of time that our plane was taking off. Just to talk a little bit about, we say we want tourism and we want more tourists, especially from Europe. But just play the video. So a plane don't take off right ahead of me, right? And here is a picture of I am in this plane. Watch behind me, Brother Feb. There's another plane ready to go. 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 There's a jet ready to go. There is a super Airbus ready to go. And then, of course, you need space behind the super Airbus. And you have other planes that are still, there's another ready to go. And this is just in other planes that are getting ready to taxi out. And that is just in a brief 1 minute period of time that my plane is going. And this is just Terminal C. This is just one of the, you have Terminal A, Terminal B, Terminal C, and so on. And this is not one of the largest airports in the United States either.
Man, that's beautiful.
And I just want to show, see, there's railroad, there are ports, there are houses, there are, near the airport, you have the storage buildings, rivers, bridges. I want you see what I'm showing you right there. You see there? Look at that. This is the kind of development that we need in Belize. And we will never develop properly if we quarrel about every little thing. Every little thing is a problem. You see how much train tracks already? Belize doesn't even have a train. And there are people who still the quarrel because they don't want the train come to Belize. The Mexican route, see? Look at how beautiful it is. Look at the quality of their roads, their streets, the street network, and the wide expanse, right? It's beautiful. You understand? You see the size of their city, you know. There, you could have seen their city center where you see all the tall buildings in the distance. All right, that's just. This is just showing you just a little bit of what I get to experience, you know, when we travel. And as I said, you get to look at their river. Right? You see their rivers, they use their rivers, right? And you can see the sea in the distance, they have their ports and everything. And this is just one city, Brother Fem. This is just one city that you are looking at in the United States. This is a smaller city, and we as Belizeans need to have the kind of mentality that we want to develop our nation. All right? See, I think we need, bush is important, but city is important as well, you know. And animals are important, but people are more important than animals, right? And here you can see a good balance because you can see the green, you see the green, and you can actually also see the city is developing. And we need, Belize needs these kinds of development, right? If you take a look at one of those buildings right there, the biggest building in that picture on the left-hand side, those are solar panels on the top of that building. That's just one building with that amount of solar, and you know. And again, we quarrel about too much in our country, but I get the opportunity to travel and to see how the rest of the world is developing very fast. If I go to PG, go to Dangriga, I am originally from the south, them place practically look exactly the same when I'm a picnic. When I'm 10 years old, 12 years old. I go back to PG, go back to Dangriga, and the place look almost the same. And that's because I know 55, so that I almost 40 to 45 years, and the development is not happening in our country at the speed it is supposed to happen. You go to Belize City in the night, and everywhere shut down in Belize City. Albert Street is shut down in the night. There's nowhere you go in the world in a city and night is shut down. So why is Belize City shut down in the night? Because of gangs. It's because of gangs and gang violence. And if we don't deal with that situation in our country, Belize loses millions of dollars in economic activity because of the fact that the most important street in the country, which is Albert Street, is shut down because of violence. So millions of dollars of economic activity are lost just on Albert Street and Regent Street because of gang activity. And we have to do something about it, you know. But our country needs to develop, Brother Fem. So I just wanted to show those videos.
Well, I just want to encourage our viewers to watch this morning show, and like what Pastor said, could see the flowers. Maybe that would encourage you.
Right.
You know, and that's something where actually set, you got your mind set when you deal with anything. So you're very healthy as well to plant flowers, and I thank God that they brought those information here for Belizean to see that we have space that we could develop all these things that we see out there and make it a more brighter Belize.
Yeah, you know, like, so what I just show is just a little bit, because I don't want to live in America.
Yes.
I don't want to live in Europe.
Yes.
I want to live in Belize.
Man.
I love Belize. You know, like, God give me a heart for the country of Belize. I'm not a person who want to go to the States or want to live anywhere else. Belize is my home. But I want to see development in my country. I want to see, and that's, so it's not about PUP or UDP for me or third party for me. You know, it's not about flag waving for one side or the other. It's about national development. And there is a problem in our country that whenever there is an attempt to move our country forward in regards to development and infrastructure, there are people who try to block it and stop it from moving forward, right? But there are people who don't think that gang violence is a problem. Gang violence is a major problem, and it has a major economic impact on the negative impact on the nation of Belize. So for example, in any country, Brother Fem, I can go out all the way to midnight, maybe 11 o'clock, close to midnight, and the city is bustling.
Man.
It's moving. People are moving. People to buy stuff. The restaurants are open.
Wow.
People are at their restaurants. People are out on the streets. Activity is taking place. All the way through to almost midnight. Downtown of a city is in economic activity. People are buying, people are selling, people are moving all the way to midnight. In the capital city of Belmopan, we don't even have a downtown. You realize that? Belmopan does not have a downtown. We are the second largest city in the country. Belmopan does not have a downtown. Why? We got a lease spot by 99. We got a lease spot by Outer Market. We got a lease spot by Brody's. We got a lease spot by Garden City. Lonely thing. And there's no activity. No, Belmopan doesn't have much activity at night time. It's a good thing that Belmopan is having those night markets, right? That is trying to create activity. And at the park, when this new administration by the George Brown Field, they have put up those lights, right? And people go out there more often, and the little sellers are out there. That's a very good thing. We need that times 1,000. Times 1,000, you know, Brother Fem. Much, and so Belize City people, they don't used to gangs. They don't used to go to Chinese shop and buy through a whole night time. The Chinese don't even want to sit there, no one look pan them. The Chinese can't even interact with them because the Chinese afraid for them. So the Chinese are push your money through a hole, and the Chinese will push the fried chicken through your hole. Belize City people don't used to that. They don't see nothing wrong. They don't understand that gang activity and violence in Belize City has shut down Southside.
Yes.
There are barely businesses in Southside. Economic activity is primarily north side of Belize City because of the gang violence in Southside. And they think that it is okay. They think it's okay. You see? So when we take a look at the 13th Amendment, we need to take a look at it from the issue of the violence, the crime and violence, and the economic impact that it has had upon the country of Belize.
Yes.
And then we need a 13th Amendment, and we need to make sure, however, that it is done in a proper way.
Yes.
Done in a proper way. So those are my thoughts. Your thoughts before we take a break.
Yes, Pastor. Well, I sit here and I learn. I say, anytime you come and rise and shine, you normally come to make the world know what is happening, especially our people. Areas where we could improve. Areas where people afraid we go by. One time, you get up, and when you get up the morning time, you ask, and where mama? You go in a shop. You know, so these are things that now a mother will think hard of, even afraid to send a child to buy in our shop because of crime and gangs that are overtaking the very good thing that God have there for us. But I pray God the government find ways to make it better for Belizeans, man, because you're afraid, man. You're definitely afraid. So that's my talking.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll talk more. And of course, our telephone number is 822-2031. We'll take a break, and we will be right back after these messages. You're watching Rise and Shine on August the 4th.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize. Land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody If I ever to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace.
BBox offers Benny's customers the opportunity to earn points on their purchases at any Benny's locations or its entities, such as Best Manufacturing, Benquip, Island Freight Forwarders, Benny's Contractor and Lumberyard, and B-Mart. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbox.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with BBox. Brought to you by Benny's, quality and savings.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corazza, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Hello Bamapan, welcome back to the second segment in this series of the Trade License Act 2024. I'm Councillor Chris Enriquez, and today we'll be discussing your business productive footprint and how it impacts your trade license fee. Let's break it down. Your business's productive footprint is the square footage of the area where your operations are conducted. It excludes common spaces such as agricultural lands, lobbies, restrooms, stairways, parking lots, storerooms, and shared hallways, unless they are used for profit. Your business falls under an economic classification based on your business type. This classification, as well as your zone, will further determine the rate applied to your business.
Hi, I'm Lauren Milton. I'm the Evaluation Manager here at the Bamapan City Council. I know a lot of people keep wondering what we're measuring when we visit their business. So let's take a closer look at what productive footprint looks like for the different types of businesses. As you can see, we measure the area used for business purposes only. This includes retail space, dining areas, or workspaces. For example, here's how the productive footprint is calculated for a coffee shop, a supermarket, and an office space, specifically an accounting firm. Let's take a coffee shop for instance. Here we see the kitchen, the bar, and the dining areas as productive space. What's noteworthy here is that a restaurant and an ice cream parlor has similar productive space as a coffee shop. Next, we have a supermarket. For this business, we measure the entire retail floor, including aisles, checkout counters, and display areas. The storerooms and employee break areas are excluded since they are not used to generate direct sales. Lastly, we look at an accounting firm office. The productive footprint here includes the client reception, conference rooms, and workspaces where the business's services are provided. Excluded are areas like break rooms, restrooms, kitchen, and non-operational storage. As you can see, productive footprint is the usable square footage where your business is conducted. This excludes common areas like lobbies, restrooms, and parking spaces, except in cases where these areas are used for profit. Remember, productive footprint looks different for different businesses, so be sure to accurately measure your premise to ensure your fees reflect your footprint. It is important to note that Schedule 8 of the Trade Licensing Act sets fixed trade license fees for specific classifications such as traveling professionals and auto dealers.
Knowing your economic classification and accurately measuring your productive footprint isn't the only factor in your trade license process. You must also consider that there are 4 municipal zones and that your business is located in one of them. Each zone has a different guideline that will affect the rate applied to your trade license fee. As a reminder, the new Trade License Act takes effect on January 1st, 2025. Businesses without a trade license by then are subject to penalties and fees. So we encourage everyone to apply early before the deadline, December 31st, 2024. Stay tuned to our next segment where we will answer your key questions. Thank you for watching, and let's build a prosperous Belmopan together.
When the special envoy spoke about this project, unlock your baking potential, it is something that we agreed to immediately because of the significance that this will have.
I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Taiwan Embassy and Ambassador Lily, and to the Office of the Special Envoy for Women and Children and Mrs. Bresenio for their generous sponsorship and unwavering support. To our dynamic 20, thank you for showing up with your willingness to learn.
Going to class for the past 6 weeks was not just about learning new things, it was about meeting new friends and now families.
I will surely pass on these special skills and talent onto my children and family. Thanks for the opportunity, and I hope to start my small business soon as well.
This experience has not only expanded our technical skills but also empowered us to embrace creativity, discipline, and self-confidence in meaningful new ways.
Thanks to each and every one of you that had a hand in this initiative, in taking this seed and planting it in each and every one of us that has now blossomed.
So today, as you receive your certificates, it's truly a stepping stone for you towards independence, entrepreneurship, and financial freedom. You will be able to possibly open your own business, sell from your house, but make your own money.
Every project starts with the right tools. At Builders Hardware, we got everything to get the job moving. Tools, paint, plumbing, electrical, garden, it's all here from construction start to finish. We're also offering a different kind of power tool. Order anytime, anywhere. Pick up in store or get it delivered to your home. Go to shopbuildersbz.com today and save money with our exclusive online deals. Builders Hardware, making it easier.
Pletz Home Builders is the largest house building company in Belize. Pletz combines the best skilled workers, high-grade materials, and the latest technology to produce the highest quality wooden residential structures. Request any size, color, and the home layout you want. Choose from hardwood or painted metal outer walls. Pletz can modify any of their existing house plans to your satisfaction, complete with all the installation services you need anywhere in the country, including ambergris Cree. They can also lift your house to your desired height up to 9 feet. From properly treated and cured lumber to quality sidings and floorings, let Pletz Home Builders give your home the finish you need. For prices or questions, call 823-0398 or go to www.pletzhomebuilders.com. Pletz Home Builders, we build to suit your needs.
Start the new year with big savings on your 2025 property taxes. From January 1st to March 31st, 2025, the Belize City Council is offering incredible property tax discounts that you won't want to miss. Prepay your annual property tax by January 31st, 2025 and enjoy 15% off. Pay by February 28th and you'll save 10%. And if you pay by March 31st, you'll still enjoy a 5% discount. But wait, there's more. senior citizens can enjoy a fantastic 35% discount upon full payment of property taxes for the property they reside on all year round. Please note, these discounts are available only to property owners who are up to date with their accounts. As you take advantage of this discount, we kindly remind all property owners of your responsibility to visit City Hall or utilize our online platform to complete your payments and to ensure your contact information is accurately updated in our system. For more details on these incentives, visit our Belize City Council Facebook page or give us a call at 227-3073, extension 261 or 264. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine. Thank you so much for joining us. It's 8:30. We're in the upper parts, the final parts of our show for this morning. Grateful for all of you who are watching us this morning. Those of you who will be watching us on the repeats and on the weekends, we are grateful. And of course, we are just here sitting and chatting. I've been away, Brother Fem, for at least 3 weeks. Yes. And I'm very grateful to those of you who kept watching. And there were some very good shows. I was able to watch quite a few of them and to stay in touch with what is happening in our country of Belize. Our telephone number, I've put it up. Some people were trying to call in, but they were not able to get through. 822-2031. The number is now available, so they can join us in our conversation, Brother Fem.
Yes, that's right. So I don't know what we have next.
Well, from the video and picture that I show you, there are certain things that are big, that I talk about development, but I show you the plants and the flowers. Those are small things. They're things that we are able to do. They're things that we are able to do. I think about the drive from Belmopan to San Ignacio, or to the border, all the way through to Benque, right? Because tourists don't stop in Belmopan. Tourists do not come to Belmopan. Belmopan has nothing to offer tourists. So where does a tourist bus stop? A tourist bus will stop right at Artbox. Okay. So let's say the people who come in for cruise ship tourism, right? So it's a lot of people that come in, you know.
Yes, that's true.
A lot of people come in, but people will not spend their money unless you have something to offer that is worth them spending their money.
Yes, that's right.
And where do people stop on the road, on the highway between Belmopan and Belize City, the George Price Highway? They stop at Jaguar Creek, right? And those buses turn in and they go to Dark Night, they go to the caves, the cave system that are there at Jaguar Creek, and they enjoy themselves.
That's right.
At that area. When their day is finished, they get back in their vehicle and they go back, right? So they go to the Keys, they go to San Pedro and Burgess Key, they go to Hopkins, they go to Placencia, Key Carca. Those are the places where the tourists go. And if they are going to go to Cayo, they will fly past Belmopan. So if you think about it, Belmopan has not, though we have existed as a city from 2000 and Belmopan came into existence in 1970, we have not successfully developed a tourist product in in Belmopan. So if a tourist come to Belmopan, where would you take them?
Well, Guanacaste Park.
Where can they where?
Guanacaste Park.
All right, but that all right, Guanacaste Park. You see how Guanacaste Park look lately? It not look too hot.
Yeah, it look too hot.
All right, and Guanacaste Park no look like anything where them people never see before in America or in Europe or anywhere else. The parks are bigger, better, prettier than Guanacaste Park and better kept.
How about John Carr?
All right, Banana Bank, correct?
Yes, sir.
That is still not in Belmopan.
Okay.
So Guanacaste Park not that Belmopan and John Carr not that Belmopan. But we've selected 3 already. 1, Art Box, right?
Yes.
2, Guanacaste, which needs major work. Guanacaste needs major work because you have the section we go down to the river. That area look good. But when you try going in the opposite direction, the area looks practically destroyed. You understand what I mean by go? Let's say you take the path behind the house and you go down that area. Not too hot.
Yeah, not too hot.
Not too hot, right? It's
That's
practically destroyed. And so you have, so we find 3. They are outside of Belmopan. What can we do at John Carr? Horseback riding. Is there anything else that John Carr offers?
You have animal there?
All right, yeah, I have a few animals, like
Bird.
5 minutes worth of watching animals.
Kiri.
Right. So what John Carr is trying to do there is trying to develop a product, right? You have to develop something that people will want to come and pay money, right? But one of the things that John Carr has that is very high quality is horseback riding. That's for sure, right?
Yes.
That's a good experience.
Man.
I have done John Carr horseback riding more than once, and that's a very good experience.
You got a nice pool.
Yeah, he has a nice pool, but again, pool that at every hotel, every resort, every, you know, the pool that not come. So we still not say what they in a Belmopan. What is in Belmopan that is tourist worthy? You got a cousin who come for states, you know, come yet and say, Belmopan, I want to show you Belmopan. Nothing much, right?
Yeah, true.
We will take them to maybe the National Assembly so that they can see the building, which is right behind us, right? This is a place worth seeing,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And they're giving it the facelift. So this is one spot that they can go. What else? You see, we don't have what else, right? But Mapan should have had its own museum. You remember right across from the market, Belmopan Market Plaza, right across, there is a very big building which houses our national treasures. You know the house, the building we got, the Lee Rong Hole,
Archaeology.
the archaeology area.
Yes,
right.
sir.
Why is there not a museum there that people can go in? Let's take a call.
Yeah, true.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Earlier, you made it discuss Emancipation Day. What we are celebrating is the Europeans enslave us, get paid thousands and millions of dollars when they release we, they enslave us, and then we pay them to release the highest amount of money in the Caribbean Belize get. They raped, or we are celebrating raping our ancestors. They are celebrating tens of thousands of slaves at the bottom of the sea. Yet we celebrate. What they have done to us, after 8 generations, they make we enslave our own mind. And over the years, we just can't let go the shackles of slavery. Instead, we want money now. When we may don't pay the European for so-called release, but we were never released. We were always enslaved. And the way I see it, the 13th Amendment will keep we enslaved. Because this time, be the policemen who enslaved us. The solution that the corrupt police and they get the police to do their job. That's the basic thing. They are not doing their job. You see the sloppy type of investigation that goes on all the time. What I would recommend is that before the policeman becomes a policeman, we publish one list of names that people that want to be policemen, so that we, the public, could object, because some of them, they're handwriting the on the wall even before they go into the police force. We need them to be policemen instead of being subservient to the politicians, because that's one of our main problem. Thank you. Have a pleasant day.
Well, I am of the belief that Britain owes us nothing. That I am one of the people of the belief that nobody owe we nothing. Because the British were once slaves. British were once slaves. They were slaves of the Romans. And the Romans were once slaves too. Everybody was once in the history of the world. Everybody was once a slave. If you watch the movie Apocalypto, right? The movie Apocalypto is about the Maya civilization. And it shows you very clearly in the movie Apocalypto that even the Mayas had slaves. Every civilization has had slaves. Every civilization has had slaves. And no civilization that ever had slaves have ever paid reparation. Never. The nations that have had slaves over time become just another modern country. So I have had the opportunity to go to England, to go to one of the cities where the Romans built their fortresses, just like how the British soldiers came to Belize and built their campsite, barracks, and occupy and enslave. And I wrote a post that says, the children of Israel, when you read the Bible in a Genesis, were they not slaves? Were the children of Israel not slaves? Yes. They were slaves where? In Egypt. Weren't they? Israel were slaves they were slaves in Egypt for 430 years. 430 years of slavery. And it was not just Israel that was in Egypt as slaves. Any country back then, when they conquered a nation, they left their soldiers there and they pulled people out to become slaves to help build their country. That was standard procedure. I was in Ireland. The British treat the Irish, the white British, and Ireland white, the Irish white. And the British treat the Irish worse than how they treated Belizean. the Irish.
Explain that to me, Pastor.
Because it's the way of the world, Brother Fim. Belizean ancestors are not, our African ancestors are not unique to slavery. Africans had slaves. Egypt is in Africa. Egypt is in Africa, it's not Africa. Egypt had slaves. How were those pyramids built? Slave, right? It's slave. So slavery, it's only in modern times, thank God, that we do not see the level of slavery that exists in the past. Right? Yeah. So, what was the first great civilization? Babylon. Babylon was built by slaves. When the soldiers of Babylon went out and they conquered nations, they brought them back as slaves. Where do you think the song come from? By the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, and there we wept when we remember Zion. For the wicked carried us away captivity, declaring for us a song. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? The children of Israel were taken from Israel, from Zion, and they became slaves in Babylon. So it's by the rivers of Babylon where we sat down and there we wept when we remember Zion. Babylon is Iran today. Iran is Babylon. That whole area. You have Babylon, you have Persia, Afghanistan. You have Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq. Those were once great civilizations that had slaves, and they became slaves. Not only did they have slaves when they were the Babylonian Empire, when they were the Persian Empire, but when the Greeks came, the Greeks conquered them, and then the Greeks had slaves. So today, if you go to Greece and you see all the big buildings in Greece, how you think they were built? By slave labor. Yeah. When you see all of those Mayan temples in Belize, how you think they built that, Brother Fem? Slave labor. So, every nation in the past, right? Every nation that became a big nation, a great civilization, when they went out to war, they brought slaves back to build. They all did it. They did it all the way through to the Roman Empire under Jesus' time. After the Roman Empire, it broke up into about 5 empires. You had slavery all the way down through to Christopher Columbus' time. There were slaves in this world, there were slaves in the others. And when the Europeans came and they were ready to build their empire here in this part of the world, what will they use to build the empire? What will they use? Slave. They will use slave. So they went to Africa and found people and brought them over here, and the Africans became slaves. That is, for that period of time, that was normal. You see, even though I talk truth and I talk facts right now, people don't like where I got to say, you know. But I don't care. I don't care, honestly, because I know I am speaking the truth.
Yes.
Right? Not a single, you will not find a single archaeological record in the past where the Babylonians said we will set the slaves go. Do you remember the story of Israel and Egypt? Did Egypt let the slaves go, Brother Fem? Who freed the slaves in Egypt? It was Moses, right?
Yes.
Moses, by the hand of God, took the people out. There were 10 plagues. That is the story in the Bible. And on the 10th plague, the Pharaoh said, "Go, get out of here." And when the children of Israel began to go, he sent his army after them to bring them back. There has never been an emancipation proclamation in the history of the world until recent. You are a slave till you're dead, or until another nation came and conquered, and that nation then held you as slave. So the Greeks have had slaves, and the Greeks have been slaves. The Romans have had slaves, the Romans have been slaves, all the way through to the British, who have had slaves, and the British were slaves at one time. And in the British colonization of the New World, they had, after a time, because of Christianity, because of William Wilberforce, they set their slaves free. They set their slaves free. Why? Because the world is changing. The world is changing. And one of the things we do not want to admit is that there are slaves today. How many of these guys right here in Belize got a prostitution joint and go have sex with prostitute where the human traffic from Honduras, human traffic from Venezuela, human trafficking, when they force them girl to come to Belize and tell them we are giving you a nice job, and you are working at the bar, and then they take one them passport from them and they have and force them to do prostitution. Right at the Belize, and man got at them prostitution joint, and then woman the slave.
Yes, that's right, Pastor.
The woman right to the slave. It's happening right now with all of the illegal aliens that are going to America through the back. Then they go to America through the back, and some of them, when they run out of money, the cartel grab them and turn them into prostitute, lock them up in a house and have sex with them. As slave.
Yes.
The cartel. And they still buy them crack, and still buy them cocaine, and still buy them marijuana and smoke it, and support the cartels who have slaves. You understand what I'm saying? So modern day slavery is still here. It is still here. So you know what? Yes, there was such a thing called African slavery. It is true. It's a reality. It was gruesome. It was terrible. It was wrong. And thank God we live in an age where we can be free. We do not have to be slaves to anyone, and we do not have to enslave anyone. But the reality of the matter is there is such a thing called Emancipation Day. And I dare to say that no other kingdom in the history of the world has ever had an Emancipation Day where they just got up and after grueling debate and discussion, the Parliament of England abolished slavery. That is something to celebrate. I don't care who don't celebrate it and who vex. First time, you show me the civilization before the British Empire that freed slaves, that freed its slaves, that had an Emancipation Day. So we in the present should not judge the past by the morality and moral standards of the present. What do I mean by that? What I mean is, back then, they thought that it was right. Right? They thought it was right. Today, we know that slavery is wrong. We know it. So we look at what they said, what they did, and we say, yeah, that was wrong. That was very wrong. But you know, after that, we move on and we make sure that we in our society treat everybody equally. But I don't want any reparations. No, Britain does not owe me anything. Britain owes me nothing. There was never a country called Belize. We have a country called Belize now. And the civilizations that existed before, including the Incas of Peru, including the Arawaks, including the Caribs, including the Maya, including the Aztecs, and many, many, many different tribes, they all had a slave system. And they attacked each other. in Mexico with the Aztec that made Mexico City Tenochtitlan or something, the name of that original area that is today Mexico City. There were warring factions. So whenever a civilization build something great, Brother Fem, in the past, they said, boy, we need cheap labor.
Yes, that's right.
Cheap labor. So they will build the pyramids, they will build the Great Wall of China, all of those things that you see. The army goes out, they war other countries, they plunder the countries, right? You know what I mean by plunder, right? Just find all the gold, find all the silver, and they find it in a people's house, Brother Fem. Burn the city, burn the people, kill the people, bring back the treasure and bring back slave and say, you ain't work for me. It was the way of the world back then. Thank God the world has changed. We have improved our moral standards. We now have constitutions. We now have governments that we can vote in and vote out in most places around the world. And may we never go back to those times. But name me that's why I don't care about reparations. I'm just being brutally honest today. I have no white man will give me money for my ancestors that were slaves. You look down upon me to make any white person or white country or white anything give me money because my ancestors were slaves. Man, you belittle me. So I consider it one insult. For me, be one free human being. And want money, anybody where I try pay, man, them better than me. What person where they try pay me money for the fact that my ancestors that me a slave, what? What? That in my opinion is dehumanizing. To make one man for Britain or a group for Britain can give me money because my ancestors are a slave. Man, you put yourself as if you better than me. You understand? So I live today, I am a free man in a free world that can make decisions either to my success or to my demise. Why will I acknowledge any white people or anybody who could pay me reparations when I could work with my own two hands? You understand what I'm saying? So Emancipation Day is good, it is great, because for once there was an empire that set free its slaves. And since then, we have never had the kind we have never had that kind of mass slavery taking place. There are still some parts of the world where slavery exists, and I said in prostitution and illegal immigration of people, you end up with slavery and human trafficking. Human trafficking is a form of slavery, right? Where they hold your passport and you have to work for this person for X amount of years, and then they send your money back home. All kind of craziness they happen even right now. And I think we should concentrate on those things. But the past is the past. And we have an opportunity to build a great future. I would want to see us build that great future. Your closing comments this morning.
Yes, very informative discussion this morning. I want to thank you, Pastor, for I mentioned you take out your time to get those information, so you could show us, and people could understand a little bit more what is slavery. But I thank God because of people that fight to make it, to say, well, Belize definitely don't want to come back to that slavery. But when you think about life, if I have one shop and I pay this young person $10 a day, then I'd encourage slavery. Like we say, you want to tell me, you want to pay me for my, my ancestors, they take one lick to bring back peace and bring back this opportunity. But as I say, thank God for your pastor. You did a great job. Really did.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Brother Fem. As the people might not agree with me, I see people they have their own ideas about those things, but nobody now give me no money for my ancestors. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That is dead and gone and over. I'm not interested in that. But we should celebrate Emancipation Day. I have no problem with that, no problem whatsoever. And if you don't want to celebrate Emancipation Day, I have no problem with that either. But the English were not the only ones to have slaves. The Spaniards had slaves, the French had slaves. And French colonialism was, in my opinion, it was the absolute worst of the worst. And people have their own opinions on that. But we have an opportunity to build a great nation of Belize. And that is what I am more focused on. So from all of us here at Rise and Shine, God bless you, Belize, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you, Brother Fem. I thank the team of technicians that have worked for the entire period of time in my absence, keeping things running, and cameras and computers and etc. Thank you, gentlemen. God bless you, Belize. See you tomorrow.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize,